to see gold pushing its 1980 all-time record, about to break its all-time record. And I think it'll do it today. We've still got 2.5 hours until, or more than that, till 4 o'clock Eastern when gold closes. And it's gyrating between 833 and 837. In overseas trading last night, it went above 840, but we're talking about spot gold here in the United States. Gold futures and gold stocks are already way above that. Futures on gold are well above 840 right now. Saying they're betting in the future that it will go above that. I think that's a safe bet. Whether it'll be today or tomorrow or next week, next month, I don't know. But we're now at the point where you could wake up any morning and the banks will have closed their doors. It's already happened in Northern Rock. It's already happening with the biggest bank in France. It's already happened with Countrywide, the second largest mortgage lender. Citigroup is gyrating on, just toppling a shaking house of cards, and a big gust of wind is on its way. And you try to talk about PE ratios, you try to talk about derivatives, you talk about leveraged companies like JP Morgan with 80-plus trillion, 30-plus trillion Bank of America, 30-plus trillion Citigroup. They don't even know. You might as well be talking Martian or Octurian to them. You might as well be talking Palladian to these people. They can't even understand us, folks, when you try to warn them, when you try to talk to them. That's what George Orwell talked about, where they've destroyed the language and the meaning of words to the point of they know how to act tough at the steakhouse. They know how to act cool at the golf course. They know how to act cool with their buddies and act like know-it-alls and posture. And they know how to run around talking about Islamic fascists and sticking NRA stickers all over their cars, not knowing that group literally was the fathers of the first gun control and the new gun control bill. They just can't believe that the illusion that they were sold was a fraud. And the people do perish for lack of knowledge. Knowledge is the key to power. And by power, the power to live your own life and be left alone and be successful. There is no doubt that things are worse than I even thought and moving quicker than I thought. I tried to say it'd be middle of next year. The next year after that, I try to push it off and try to put perfume on a pig. But you can dress it up however you want. We're hurtling towards World War III. We're hurtling towards total devaluation of the dollar. We're hurtling towards government-sponsored terror. The FEMA camps are built. The wannabe dictators are in power. Hillary's waiting in the wings. The talk show hosts are bought and paid for. And we are plummeting down into absolute despotism. And I just don't want that for my family and my children, or for anybody else's family for that matter. Because I've got my head screwed on straight, ladies and gentlemen, and I know that if bad things are happening to other people overseas, it's going to come back on me even if I fought it. That's the way it works. And I know we've aborted 50 million babies. And I know we've killed tens of thousands of children in radiation experiments and troops. And I know, I say we're all part of this sick system over here. We took the freest, greatest nation in history and turned it into nothing but a burnout cesspit. And I'm bracing. It's just like when I was driving down the road from visiting family out in Fredericksburg, and we hit Stonewall, about to go into Johnson City, and it was raining real hard, the wind was blowing real hard, and I slowed down from 60 down to 45. We were driving down with a 30-foot embankment on each side, and all of a sudden a tornado came through and shoved us right off the road. And those 3 seconds before we slammed into those oak trees and it crushed half the car in, it just gave us concussions, thank God. It would have killed us, it would have hit us on the side. Those 3 seconds were like 3 minutes, and I remember in slow motion hearing myself say, "Brace for impact." And the steering wheel bending, we hit so hard, and the seats we were in breaking from the shock. And then the state police pull up literally minutes later and say, "You see that barn just get torn up? You got hit by a tornado." And they were really nice guys. I got fire ants all over me. I was stumbling around in the mud. And they pulled up and helped us. Good servants, good men, good peace officers. They were both fans, by the way. And it's the exact same thing, but instead of 3 seconds being 3 minutes, it's like couple months, couple weeks being like years. I'm just sitting here going, oh no, brace for impact. I mean, just multiple torpedo salvos coming in, and I'm just screaming, brace for impact. And the yuppies are dancing around going, Islamo-fascist, Islamo-fascist, while these central bankers have totally gutted the country, totally set us up for collapse, funded all the Islamic extremists, documented history, hijackers trained at U.S. bases, publicly on the payroll, public attack. I'm realizing I could be killed any time for what I've done. I realize just how big I've gotten. I frankly don't even like it, but I have to just continue to commit to this fight. Grace for impact. Boom! But once it hits, I was in another car at one time where the car flipped 3 times when I was a teenager, and we were like acting like idiots racing across a bridge, across a lake from Rockwall into Dallas. I shouldn't even tell these stories. And I remember that slow motion. But the Corvette in front of us that crashed, they didn't have their seatbelts on, and I saw them spinning through the air as the car was flipping end over end. Out the window, I could see it in slow motion. Our brains are incredible, folks. Well, it's the same thing, but instead it's weeks and months stretched out, and I'm seeing it brace for impact, and it's like 100 years. And all I want to do is try to warn people. All I want to do is warn you. I mean, it's a simple instinct. It's like I live up the hill 10 miles, and I see the big dam break, and I got a helicopter, and I jump in it, or I jump on the radio, better analogy, and I tell people down in the valley, hey, listen, the dam broke. There's 20 feet of water coming at you at 60 miles an hour. Run for your lives, and they just giggle. Because it's just... And I know that when they set off attacks and launch wars, a bunch of people will rally around these killers again, and they just get away with it. The good news is people know now. They're waking up, though, and at least we're not going to go quietly into the night. We're not going to completely submit to all of this. We're going to go down with a fight. And with God's help, maybe even win. Stay with us. We'll be right back here on the GCN Radio Network.